Hey guys, my name is Joanna, also known as Just Another Flutist here on YouTube, and today we are doing another practice with me. This is one of the etudes by Joachim Andersen. This particular etude is the 19th etude from his 24 instructive studies for the flute, Opus 30. I did buy this, however, it is actually on public domain, so I will put the IMSLP link to the direct PDF file of this actually entire collection of etudes in the description box below. So go there, open it, and get yourself to etude number 19. I actually have no idea what I'm getting myself into. If this is the first practice with me video you've ever seen of mine, you will notice that I don't have makeup on right now and I have my glasses on. I am also half in pajamas. See? Okay, I felt like if I were to dress myself up, that wasn't gonna be real. I don't practice with a bunch of makeup on and looking super fly. There we have it. Let's jump right into this. First off, I'm going to do a really quick warm up. I may not go into huge details about it this time, but gotta warm up. Let me explain what I just did there. When I first started, I noticed that the placement of the hole was not quite right. It was placed a little bit too far in, so I actually rolled it out just a tad. The other thing is that every single day that you play your instrument, you're actually not going to sound exactly the same as the day before. I have a little checklist in my head. I think to myself, am I doing smiley embouchure or frowny embouchure? Do I have enough support? What does my airstream feel like? Is it actually like flowing out or am I holding back? So I'm going through this checklist and I'm experimenting with each one of them. If you come to one point where your sound opens up, then you know that for that day, you may need to think about that more while you're playing. So for example, right now, I discovered that I need to do more of that frowny embouchure and I need more support. So those are the two things on my checklist right now that I need to put at the forefront of my mind while I'm playing everything during my practice session. Now that we've warmed up a little bit, I'm going to warm up a little bit more. I might fast forward through this part. It's just for me to nail down exactly the kind of tone that I want today. Let me give you guys a nice little rundown of what it looks like. So we've got this con anima, which means with liveliness, I think. Anima means lively. Quarter note equals 104. So this is what it looks like. You guys should have it in front of you as well. Crescendos, decrescendos, got first and second ending. So that means that that section there is going to be pretty darn important. Usually in an etude, this means that this is kind of like your theme. It develops, keeps developing down. This is typically what it does. So it changes through some different scales, changes through some different keys, kind of plays around with the rhythm a little bit. And then as we go down, we see un poco più mosso. So that means with a little motion, a little more motion, that is. We've got another first and second ending here. So this means that this etude is actually way longer than it looks. In this top half, I'm seeing a lot of this dot, da 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 da. And then down here, I'm noticing already that it looks different. There are way more 16th notes action going on. You never want to go into an etude blind. You always kind of want to scan it and see what little patterns you can glean first. This will prevent you from freaking out once you get to a new section. If I looked up here and I thought, oh, okay, so the whole etude is probably going to look like this first few bars, right? But then if you get down here and you're like, holy crap, whoa, that looks different, that's gonna throw you off like crazy. All right, so now I'm going to give this a whirl. Okay. This is me getting my rhythm. So I'm going at about 82. So I'm a little under, but let's do this for sight reading purposes. 3 flats, starting on E flat, therefore we must be in E flat major. So let's talk first what happened there. I had a bit of safety blanket tonguing. Did you notice me doing that? I went. So I was actually tonguing the last triplet 16th of each beat. When I found out I was doing that at around the second line or so, that was when I was like, oh, okay, so I need to just take the leap of faith and not tongue there, even though it feels uncomfortable. Then after a few times of doing it that way, I got comfortable with it. Second thing I'm noticing, it is modulating from E flat major to B flat major. Over here, we're still in E flat major, but as we go here, we are turning into B flat major. You see that A natural? It took me by surprise the first time I did it, but then the second time I did it, I was like, I know exactly what to expect now. If you are not used to reading things like this, what you can do is actually write here E flat major. Once you get here, I would put B flat major here to remind you that once you get here, it turns into B flat major. Put it in the margin here so it doesn't take you by surprise when you look down here. We're going to keep going. I'm thinking this is probably C minor. This modulating thing is G melodic minor going up. Isn't that interesting? I guess what's this one then? C natural minor starting and ending on A flat? That's a good way to think of it, at least, even if that's not 100% accurate, because that way I won't get confused as to what's going on here. Looks like we're in A flat major here. Whoa, you see what I mean when I say that they develop it and go into really strange keys? What the heck is this? F Dorian? This is definitely an E flat major chord. Then we're back in E flat major. The way I read this is D, B flat, these two pairs are the same but in different octaves, just for me to keep it straight. B flat major sound, which goes into E flat major. So that makes sense, right? Because that's basically a 5 chord going into 1. B flat into E flat. This is the same bar as here. Okay, so we got to keep that straight. This is the same bar as this. So this may be just like a continuation of this idea then. Still B flat major going on, jumps right back to the same thing as here. I noticed that when I was playing it. I was like, oh, this looks familiar. So yep, same, 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 same. So here's where it gets different. Again, E flat major. Where's this E natural coming? E natural going into F. The melody here is thus these notes going into F. E flat major, E flat major, B flat major into E flat major. Now let's see what's going on here. From the Un poco più mosso. Oh my goodness. I really need to get a new finger port because it's sliding onto my C key. I'm gonna have to practice that bar that has all the going on here. I did a lot of sliding with my B flat thumb key here, but I'm actually wondering if maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, because if I go faster, it'll be harder to slide. So maybe what I'll do is here, I'm going to put a little circle here to remind myself to get off of the B flat thumb key. And then when I get here, that B is still natural. I'm putting the natural sign on top of the B because in my head I see it better if it's up here rather than squished between here. Let's see, where would I put it back on? Here. Because we have a C here, right? Which means I need to do the same thing further down. So I'm going to slide off of it earlier. Where did I say I was going to do that? Up here. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah, so I can actually do that earlier. I'm going to change that. So this guy, I noticed myself naturally putting it back on right there. I'm going to do the same thing down here, right here. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is mark where the chromatic sections are. So here's one. Ooh, it's actually earlier. Okay, so I'll extend that there. So it starts getting chromatic there. Yeah. You know, I guess I should start it here because it's a little bit more clear. So, da 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 da, up to here. So what I'm noticing here is these are, this note and this note are purely just the half step neighbor note. How should I do this? I'm just gonna circle it. That way I know that I should be looking out for these. So it's like some weird form of like B flat, some weird form of F sharp or something. And then it like morphs, you see that? So this turns into F natural here again. There we go. And then that part is chromatic. It's chromatic up to here, and then it goes down to the B flat. So I need to be careful about that. I think I do need to slide that, because going faster, that may not work out for me. There. This is the same idea. Oh, here we go again. This time this extends all the way up before it goes on to our E flat, A flat, E flat. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing that I did that you probably noticed me doing was I did the transition from the end of this section back into the beginning, because it says DC all fine. DC all fine means da capo is to the head, all fine means to the end. Da capo to the head. So we go up here and we play everything, play everything, play everything, play everything, all the way until you reach fine, to the end. Counting in duples messed me up when I realized I had to go back here and I had to count in triplets for the second half of the beats. So I ended up having to just think to myself, dia ta ta ti ta 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 tia ta 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 da da ta ta da ta 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 da ta 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 da ta ta. So I had to get that rhythm in my head. If you feel that you aren't going to remember that, what I would do is I would take this rhythm and I would write it in the margin here. Okay, so if you write that in there, it'll just be a nice reminder for you of what's coming up. That's what I was practicing, was this transition into that. It's a lot easier to play this if you understand how it's all put together. I have dry lips. I'm noticing that my tonguing is sounding a little bit messy, so I have opted to slur that section just to remind myself how I should be blowing, and then using my tongue to just make it fancier, basically. Articulation is basically just making things cleaner and fancier. So I'm noticing that my problem notes are E flat, mostly E flat, and a little bit of D. And what I need to do on my flute is open the back of my mouth more. So basically I just have to work harder on those particular two notes, E flat and D. So I need to remember to do that when I'm tonguing too. Okay, so what I'm noticing is I'm missing that B flat there, so I'm going to circle that. Okay, so I'm missing that A flat. I should write that in. Let's see. remember to go to the second ending the second time. I need to remember to tongue 2 notes. So I put 2 T's there to remind myself to tongue there. Okay, because as you can see, all of the other scales get you to slur the first 2 notes. See there as well, and there, right? And also there. This is the one that sticks out. So I was actually putting in a slur there when I should not have been. I'm gonna play it one more time just to make sure I got that down. Comfortable now. One thing you guys are probably wondering about is how I am doing all of these jumps like crazy. I noticed that universally on all flutes, lower notes are placed very far forward in your mouth. We tend to want to swallow them instead though, because we think to ourselves, we gotta play low. And every time you sing low, do you notice yourself like kind of swallowing your vocal cords almost? We end up translating that onto the flute, which doesn't work. If you do that, it sounds like this. Do you hear how swallowed that sounds? Whereas if you place everything forward in your mouth, you get a lot more resonance going. Obviously, I had to practice that scale more. Now, the reason why I was able to do it immediately is because I have been practicing doing this for a very long time. The first time I did this, it was really, really uncomfortable because it was so counterintuitive. Get comfortable with how uncomfortable it feels. It feels wrong, but keep doing it. We're gonna keep going. Finger port is moving again. Okay, so I am missing that A flat. Gonna write that A flat in. Couple of other places I accidentally carried the E natural way too far. I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, so right there the pattern changes. Maybe I'll put little eyeballs there. We're always going dee da 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 dum, be da da dum, be da da. So by this point I started in my mind to get used to the idea that the 8th note is higher than the triplet 16ths, but it changes the pattern here quite abruptly. So I'm putting little eyeballs there just to remind myself that things change. All right, so we're gonna do this again. Just gonna practice those 2 bars. Okay. So now I'm trying to actually emphasize the 8th notes more. good, except I rushed one of the triplets. Lots of flexibility stuff going on there. Much better. Now we're going to actually make sure I can do the first ending and find my way back to the right spot. Okay, so kind of okay, could be better. Yeah, better. Wrong octave. Oh, it's like a minor seventh leap down there. Okay, so I keep playing an E natural there. I'm gonna put a flat over the A as well, just in case. And that only happens to me when I return back up. That's interesting. Wrong octave. One more time. Yeah. Okay. So I think I've got it now. Now we're gonna try it with the second ending though. Okay, pretty good. Gonna keep going, make sure I can do the rest. I wrote that wrong there. This happens in everybody's practice session. Sometimes we read things wrong and we write the wrong notes in. I thought this F natural was like a G sharp, I guess, which is not the case. So I put an F natural there instead, just so I know. no, no, no. Finger port. Okay, few more notes to write down. I keep thinking this is a G instead of an E flat. So there's only one spot in here that really is getting me. Right there. Ooh, that is supposed to be an A natural. I'm starting to wonder now if I should just keep sliding my thumb around. It seems like I'm fast enough to do it. Good. I missed a slur though, and I'm doing some weird breaths. Yeah, much better. So I'm going to write that breath in there. Starting here is where I start to go, what's happening? So neighbor note, neighbor note, neighbor note. I missed the slur. Got to make sure that that is an F natural. And then I decided to put a breath there because I was putting an awkward breath in somewhere here that does not work with how this music works. It breaks the momentum going down. So better to breathe here, sneak a breath in here, and then wait all the way here before I take another breath. Mm. Mm. Freaking finger port, I need a new one. Okay, okay, I'm so close, guys. I'm so close. There's a little section here that I'm not quite getting. It's on the last line if you're looking at the music. So it's that high D. I keep wanting it to be a D flat. See? I played a D flat. We're playing so much now that my keys are starting to get sticky. That's a good sign. Oh, nailed it. There you have it, guys. That would be pretty much my first practice session on a new etude. You may have noticed that this time I spent a lot of time just kind of working through sections and working through the transitions between sections. Your second practice session, you want to make it all the way through, but just make a mental note of where you are tripping up. And on those parts that you are tripping up, that's where you want to work on the most for your second practice session. This video has turned out to be way longer than I expected it to be. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what other things you want to see me practice. Put it in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and hit subscribe for new videos every Saturday. You can hit the bell icon to get notifications. My last video is over there, and if you want to catch me during the week, my social media networks are down there. But otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Bye. Couple of other places I accidentally carried the E natural way too far into the next bar. Should not have done that. So, whoops. Hi, John.